It's time to install your Gridscape Eclipse sliding door. Before starting, make sure you have the proper tools and parts to complete the installation. First, locate the sill center line on the curb. A minimum of 2.5 inches are required from the sill center line to the inside edge of the curb for the door guide. Measure the opening and trim the sill to fit. Position the sill in place with the weep holes facing toward the shower and tape it down to prevent movement. Check if the sill is level. Make a note of out-of-level measurement. Choose which side you want the shower door to be on. This depends on your personal preference. Set the fixed panel wall jamb on the designated fixed panel side. If the sill is lower on this side, raise the jamb by the measurement taken. While holding the jamb plumb, mark the 3 pre-drilled holes onto the wall. Drill the holes using a ceramic drill bit and insert plastic screw anchors into the holes. Secure the jamb in place with a screw into each anchor. Repeat the same steps for the door jamb on the opposite side. The jamb should align level at the top. Once the jambs are secured, place the fixed panel into the sill and push it onto the fixed panel wall jamb. The panel should be level with the jambs. Raise the panel with the setting blocks if required. Then use pliers to crimp the snap legs of the 3 vertical covers. Snap 1 cover into the fixed panel and 1 into the door jamb. Now, measure the shower opening above the fixed panel and trim the header accordingly. Set the header in place and make sure it's level. The next step is to trim and install the header and sill covers. Start by measuring between the fixed panel and door jamb covers and trim the header cover to fit. Do the same for the sill cover. Snap the sill cover into the sill with the lip toward the outside of the enclosure. Once the covers are installed, install the door strike stile. Insert the stile into the side of the door panel with the handle holes. Secure in place on the inside of the door with 3 self-drilling screws at the center and 5 inches from the top and bottom. Then install the bubble seal into the stile and crimp at the bottom to prevent it from sliding out. Next, take the 3rd vertical snap cover and attach it to the side of the door panel without the handle holes. Now it's time to prep the roller brackets for the sliding door. Loosen the cap nuts from the hex head panel screws and discard the plastic washers and bushings. Assemble the bracket against the outside of the door with the roller facing out. Make sure the bracket is aligned with the panel and tighten the cap nuts. Use hex sleeves ECS 58 and ECS 916 to protect the finish when tightening the nuts and screws. Size 13/16 inch and 7/8 inch wrenches are required to use the hex sleeves provided. Then, partially loosen the screw holding the anti-jump. Repeat for the second bracket. The next step is to place the bottom guide against the inside of the sill, aligned with the edge of the fixed panel. Mark the hole locations on the back of the sill. Drill 9/64 inch pilot holes into the sill and set the guide back in place with the nylon cushion over the holes. Screw in place and partially loosen the rollers to slide them out to the maximum distance. Carefully bring the sliding door inside the shower enclosure with the brackets facing to the outside of the enclosure. Temporarily remove the header for easier access into the shower. To hang the door, set the rollers onto the top track of the header. Push the rollers on the bottom guide tight against the door and retighten the hex screws. Then, tighten the flange nuts under the rollers using the hex wrench provided. Test your new sliding door to make sure it works properly. If everything looks good, you can now secure the fixed panel to the jamb with 3 self-drilling screws at top, center, and bottom. Next, you will need to drill 9/64 inch pilot holes at 1/4 inch from the edge of the header and sill. Drill the hole larger to 3/16 inch for the header only. From the inside of the enclosure, secure the header to the wall jambs at each end and secure the sill to the fixed panel at the center. Now go back to the anti-jumps on each bracket. Raise them to 1/16 inch below the header and tighten the screws in the back. The next step is to install the door handle. Loosen the cap nuts from the hex screws on the handle and discard the plastic washers and bushings. Assemble the handle onto the outside of the door. Set a cap nut on each screw and make sure the handle is aligned with the edge of the door. Tighten until the lock washers are flattened. Use the hex sleeves again to protect the finish on the screws and nuts. Close the door with the bubble seal touching the wall. Now it's time to install the door bumpers that stop the door at the open and closed positions. Place the first bumper on the back of the header against the handle side roller bracket. Locate the bumper vertically 1/4 inch from the top edge of the header. Mark the hole location on the header and drill a 5/32 inch pilot hole 5/8 inch deep. Secure the bumper with a number 8 screw. Now open the door with a minimum 1 inch gap from the handle to the fixed panel. Place the second bumper on the back of the header against the panel side roller bracket. Mark the hole location on the header. Drill a 5/32 inch pilot hole and secure the bumper. To complete the installation, seal the exterior of the unit at the jambs and sill with mildew-resistant caulking. Also, caulk where the sill cover dam meets the fixed panel and door jamb covers. Your new Gridscape Eclipse is now installed and ready to go.